Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend. Yes,
Super Bowl weekend.
sir.
How are you doing?
Yes.
We're
Yep.
finally here. The
Yeah.
last
We're
game
here.
of the season.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Um. Well, we can go back to 2 weeks ago when the Seahawks beat my Rams for the NFC title, and I was mentioning that the Seahawks just have too much firepower going on for them. They pretty much, yeah. It was back and forth first 3 quarters, and then at the end it was just we couldn't get it done. We were 4 points down, trying to get a touchdown. The Seahawks defense just yeah they pretty much turned it on, and yeah, we fell short 31-27 once again.
There was. It was again. I wasn't too confident that this was going to be a blowout, and it wasn't. Right.
uh,
The Rams essentially held on for
yeah.
the whole game. I wasn't. I had a feeling Seattle was gonna pull this off because
Mhm.
just because of their defense, but the Rams were there. I mean, there was a couple of plays that could have gone the Rams' way,
Right.
which could have led to the
Alexa,
win.
volume on TV
So
8.
it's right. It's like
Yeah.
there was that muff punt. Remember,
Yeah.
number one, that was big. The
Yep.
muff punt
The muff punt was
uh,
big. Yep.
that was horrible. And then it doesn't. This is kind of where I'm at with this matchup
Mm.
with the Super Bowl. The fact that we know the Rams are the number one offense in the league,
Hmm.
and they were able to hang with the Seahawks
See, yeah.
essentially,
Mm.
right? That fourth quarter was more of a grind than anything, but
Mm.
the Rams are always in there. The Rams with
Yeah. Hmm.
they had you guys have Matthew Stafford, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about him in a bit.
Yep.
And he was really good. He was amazing, and it's just a matter of this. It kind of felt to me like the Super Bowl, the Niners against Chiefs, where the Niners just made a lot more mistakes.
Mm.
Like for example, with CMC fumbling the ball for one,
Right.
that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Without those mistakes, I mean, I'm just being a homer here, maybe, but I really believe that without those mistakes, if the Niners just played like the Niners
Mm.
were playing that year, they
Yeah.
would have beat those Chiefs.
Yep.
Same situation here. I think if the Rams just didn't make those mistakes that they were making, then they would have probably beaten this team just because
Oh
of
yeah.
how this offense was humming.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, we have another classic offense versus defense matchup in the Super
Right.
Bowl right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right, it's gonna be the Patriots, who are the best offensive team left,
Mhm.
versus the number one defense in the league.
Right.
Is there anything that we see that could change this game from when compared to that Rams Seahawks game last couple of weeks ago?
It'd be interesting to see the how the Seahawks secondary plays against Stephon Diggs.
Hmm.
Because their secondary has been, yeah, quite frankly, the best in the league. Especially whether it's tip passes, whether it's just straight up man coverage on receivers, or even forcing turnovers. They've just been wonderful all season. So I want to see how that plays out, and also I want to see how Drake May responds to a defense is that does that does not hesitate to blitz.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see how he fares against the linebackers of the Seahawks, and the defensive line, who they're gonna rush him. We're gonna see a lot of combinations of going through the gaps and and just trying to get through that offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see how he responds.
Yeah, especially for a young player,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Just 23,
Mm.
and he's still new to the game, and
Yep.
you're gonna need him to essentially read this defense,
Hmm.
one of the best defenses,
Yeah.
probably in the history of the
And
game,
that's
right?
through the game.
A
Yeah.
historic defense, really.
Yep.
If is he going to be able to read this defense well enough
Hmm.
to be able to find his guys or even make the
Right.
play himself?
Hmm.
Because that's kind of where I hate to compare it, but when the success that the Niners had, as little as it was against this
Hmm.
defense, is when it was Brock who was making the plays.
Yeah.
It was Brock who was, and this Brock is great at this reading the defense. And is Drake May gonna be able to have that kind of game where he's
Yeah.
able to read this D and because
Hmm.
we know he can run, we know he can use his legs, and we know he can
Right.
pass. He has
Hmm.
weapons around him.
Yep.
Will he be able to dissect that defense well enough in that
Yeah.
game to be able to be effective?
And if we go back to the if we go back to the game against the Broncos, like they were held to what 13 points. Like Denver, I mean Denver scored 10 and the QB went down. So
Mm.
and they were held like the defense was Denver. I think second best defense in the league. And I think let me if you go back to the scoreboard held New England to I believe it was 10 points.
Right.
Let me,
I mean,
yeah,
the other
yeah,
side of this
or
coin,
13 points. Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about we're talking about Drake May, but the other side of this
Oh,
coin is
10,
Sam
10,
Darnold,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah, Sam
Can
Darnold.
can
Yeah,
can Sam
yeah.
is like I liked him.
Hmm.
I loved him when he was with the Niners,
Yeah.
the consummate professional.
Right.
But there's a reason why he had to rehabilitate his career
Mm.
in San Francisco.
Right.
Right? He did well in with Minnesota. I was surprised that
Mm.
they didn't even extend him. And then now he's with Seattle. There's a reason why he's bounced around.
Mm.
So will that reason come up in the biggest game of his life? Is the question now.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
we know what Seattle's gonna do. It's pretty obvious what their game plan is.
Yep.
They don't. Sam Darnold is there to just get the ball in the right space,
Mm.
misdirect the defense when they're so used to
With their
defending the
yeah.
run,
Mm.
right? Just for him to get that ball out quick and make good decisions. That's essentially what Sam Darnold is to that
Right.
offense. So if Sam Darnold just becomes that steady guy that he has been for this whole
Mm.
season, then I don't see the Patriots winning this at all.
Yeah.
But there is that part of me that thinks that it's due for Sam Darnold to have a bad game
Yeah. Hmm.
in the biggest game of
Mm.
his life.
Yep.
What how fitting it would be.
I mean,
So
we saw that happen to a lot of quarterbacks who have dominated the regular season and the playoffs, only to kind of lay an egg in the Super Bowl. So I just say, man, it happened to Jimmy G. It happened
mm,
to guys like Rex Grossman for the Bears. um, it yeah, it happened to Jared Goff. So
yeah.
you know
So with that
like
being said,
yeah.
let's put a prediction out there. What do we think
Mm,
is going to happen to the Super Bowl?
mm. I am looking at a close game, but I'm looking at a Seattle victory.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I hate
Yeah,
to
I'd
say it.
say it. I hate to say
It's
it.
hard for me to admit
Yeah,
this, but I think Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl in
Seattle's
a
gonna
very
win. Yep.
close game.
Yes.
I think the defense is just going to be too much. It would be enough to
Mhm.
overwhelm this young quarterback as good as he
Right.
is.
Yep.
This defense will be able to carry
As
this
long
team
as they
to
don't,
the
as
Super
long as
Bowl.
they don't run a pass play at the 1 yard line.
Look, have you been watching the festivities at Levi's
Not
for this?
really. Not really.
Right. So we talked about this before we
Mhm.
started recording. There was this. Well, it's Super Bowl weekend, obviously, so
Mhm.
they're decorating the stadium,
Right.
in Super Bowl
Yeah.
colors. They
Yep.
have Seattle Seahawks Sam Darnold photos plastered all across Levi Stadium, the home
Yeah.
of the Niners. Their sworn
Yep.
enemies. I don't know what to feel about this. It's a
Yep.
bit. It sucks that
It's
this
odd.
is gonna be the
Yeah.
case. It's like it's like seeing Larry Bird photos inside of the forum,
Right.
or seeing Kobe Bryant photos inside Boston Garden
Yep.
or TD Garden, if you want to say like
it
it's blasphemous. And they even have their
is. Yeah.
freaking flag flying over the Golden Gate Bridge.
The 12th man flag. Yeah.
It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
it I hate the fact that this is happening. But what one thing that I can take away is that I'm pretty happy that we know that there's gonna be an NFL game in Australia
Yes.
in
It's
in
going to be
this
the
this
Rams
year.
and the 49ers, man.
It's gonna be the Rams against the Niners. It's gonna
Yep.
be a rivalry game that
Yep.
they're gonna have in there. It's probably it's a 4 hour flight away from me, so
Uh,
there's definitely a good chance of heading over to Melbourne
Right.
just to partake. I got a couple of friends who are coming as well, so I'm pretty
Nice.
excited about that.
nice.
I don't get to watch a lot of live football, so I'm gonna
Right.
make the most out of it. I'm
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
gonna try.
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna try to watch.
Yep.